Hello, my name is Rachel O'Kello and I'm a UK-based solicitor specialising in immigration, nationality and deportation law. And it's lovely to be here with you today. I try to get out as many videos as possible. I think it's been a short while since I've been able to, but the sun is kind of out in the UK. It's the best country on earth, as we all know, and still, despite the problems that we're having with the coronavirus outbreak, so many people still want to come and visit us here in the UK, and they want to work in the UK and study in the UK, and that's really wonderful. And so my role is to help people who wish to come to the UK to do so in the way to suit their plans, make sure that they come here legally, and make sure that they don't just come to the UK and then, as I get some people say, oh, I decided to stay. I mean, that's not really the best way. Well, it isn't the best way at all to say I've just came for a holiday and then I decided to stay. So follow us on social media at Clarity Visas. The website is clarityvisas.com, and we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Clarity Visas, and then I do try to update people as to what's going on in UK immigration. Today I just wanted to touch on visit visas because I get a lot of people, especially when we come towards the summer months, and the borders are kind of opening. They're not completely open at the moment, and the other obstacle is that the Home Office visa application centres across the world are still closed, so that is slowing things down significantly. But once the borders open, I know that there's going to be a lot of people wondering how to make the best application to come to the UK. And one sticking point that people have is to do with the amount of money that they need. And I always say to people, it's not really about the amount of money that you need. There's no set amount, because a lot of the time, and it's one of those areas where it's my friends that I need 10,000, or my friends that I need 2,000, or my friends that I need 5,000. Well, it's not up to your friend, and your friend's probably not going on the right basis. Really, what the Home Office is looking for when they're assessing finances and visit visas, they're looking at whether the person can come to the UK without being tempted to work. So you need to show that you've got sufficient funds for the length of your holiday, the type of person that you are, and who you're going to stay with. So what does that mean? Well, the length of your holiday, obviously, if you're coming for 1 week, you need less money than if you're coming for 6 months. Okay, so 1 week, you may say, I'm going to stay in a hotel, and therefore I need to have sufficient funds to prove that I can accommodate myself in the hotel. I bought my hotel ticket for a start, not bought the ticket, but you've got sufficient funds to buy the ticket, because what you don't want to do is spend all these costs before actually getting the visa. So what you would say is, I've got sufficient funds, and you'd need to show bank account statements and that it's your money, well, that it's money that you didn't just put there for immigration purposes, to show that you've got sufficient funds to accommodate yourself if you're staying in a hotel. On the contrary, on the other hand, if you are an older person, so if it's, say you're a young person staying in a hotel in the middle of London, the idea would be, for the Home Office, I'm sure they would assume, the assumption I should say would be, that you're going to go out, go clubbing, enjoy life and have a great time in the capital. And therefore, unless you can prove otherwise, that may be a general assumption that they're going to make. And therefore you need to show that you've got sufficient funds for this week-long splash out in the capital. Okay. On the other hand, you may be an elderly person who's coming to visit family members who have their own home, and you're going to stay with them. And obviously, if you're in your 70s, for example, then the assumption isn't going to be that you're going to be going clubbing every weekend. So you'd need to show, if you're coming for 6 months, how are you going to be eating, where you're going to be staying, how you're going to be traveling, just showing that you've got sufficient funds available, either through yourself or your family members, that you can come to the UK and not be tempted to work. I mean, you may not be tempted to work, but for the Home Office, how they see it is that's one of the tests that they apply. Okay, this video really, I'm only talking about the finances around visit visas. I'm not talking about any other aspect, because there's lots of other reasons why the Home Office refuse visit visas. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a short course on that, which is going to be behind a paywall actually, but it's going to get really in depth in terms of how you can get the most successful visit visa application. But today I wanted particularly to touch on the issue of the finance, because I know that lots of people struggle to understand that there's no set figure. It has to be based on the type of person who's coming to visit, where they're staying, the type of activities that they intend to do. So if you say that I'm going to be sightseeing around the whole of the UK, including Wales and Scotland, then they're going to want to see that you've got sufficient funds to do that, and you're not going to be busking in the street, you know, singing for money, or you're not going to be taking a few shifts at the local hotels in each location, because a visit visa does not allow you to work. A visit visa is for you to come to the UK for the purpose that you said you're going to come, and then to leave the UK at the time that you say you're going to leave. And an important factor to consider is that even if you say to the Home Office, I'm coming for 2 months, they may give you a visit visa for 6 months. You're going to show that you had funds for 2 months and they gave you the visa on that basis. But when they stamped it for 6 months, because that's the maximum time that you can get a visit visa. They may stamp it for less, but sometimes they just stamp your visa, the visa for 6 months. They still expect you to leave after 2 months. So if you say you're coming for 2 months and they stamp it for 6 months to give you a 6 month stay, they still expect you to leave after 2 months. Because if you don't leave after 2 months and then you leave the UK and you apply to re-enter, and they've seen that although the last time you came you said you were coming for 2 months and you left after 5 months, then they can raise that as an issue, and they often refuse people to say, well, you know, last time you didn't keep your promise, you told us you were going to leave after 2 months and you stayed here for 5 months, and we don't know what you were doing for those extra 3 months. You know, you didn't give any explanation for why you stayed beyond the 3 months. And then the Home Office, you know, mind goes into overdrive, and they start thinking of all the different things that you could have been doing with those extra 3 months, which could include working. Okay, so in terms of the finances for visit visas, there's no set figure. You need to show that you have sufficient funds to cover the expenses that you're going to need for the length of time that you're going to be in the UK, and for the activities that you're going to carry out, and to do with the number of applicants who are coming as well with you, because it may be that it's you and your children, maybe it's you and your partner, you and your parents. You're going to need to show that you've got sufficient funds and that you're not going to be tempted to work. So I hope that was helpful. If you need to discuss your case in more detail, then you can book one of our case assessments. You can go online at clarityvisas.com, and don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Clarity Visas. So I'm Rachel Okello, UK-based solicitor specialising in immigration, nationality and deportation law, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so on YouTube, Clarity Visas, and hit the notification button apparently, so that you get told every time that we do a new video. And that's super important, because you don't want to miss anything that we share with you. Okay, so lovely speaking to you. Have a good day. Take care, and bye bye.